The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, we are live once again. It's the late night Unfiltered Boxing Talk with Pops, number 3. It's been a while since we did one of these with Pops.
That's right.
We figure we dust the cobwebs off and give the people what they want, because you gotta give the people what they want.
yeah, definitely. This weekend, it's. I think it's actually. I'm more excited for this weekend than I was last weekend. Believe it or not, having Jake Paul, having all his YouTubers follow him, and what he's done for boxing is fucking great.
You know what, Pops? Let's talk about that, because I really feel like Jake Paul at this stage of his career, you know, with what he's got going on, you know, you can love Jake Paul, you can hate Jake Paul, but at this point, I feel like you gotta respect Jake Paul, because he at this point, it's undeniable that he's good for fighters. It's undeniable that he's doing things that are helping fighters. It's undeniable that he's not good for the sport, at least in my opinion. If you're hating on Jake Paul at this point, you're just an angry person, or you don't quite see the bigger picture. You're just caught up in the old way of thinking. What do you think?
I totally agree with you. I think, and let's get it straight. Here we keep everything real. I was, believe it or not, it took me a long time to accept Jake Paul. I was saying, oh, he's a fucking bum. He ain't doing shit. He just all the viewers. He's just a YouTuber. He don't know shit. But when I see him turning around and dedicate himself to the sport of boxing and get out there and literally fight opponents that are a lot better than going to Mexico, to fucking third world countries and fighting garbage bags, you got to respect him for that. And it's a plus. It's an advantage to have somebody like him to come to the spectrum of the sport of boxing and bring attention with his followers.
Yeah. You know, and I know a lot of people, like, I hear people on YouTube sometimes complain about that women's boxing doesn't get attention. I know not everybody likes women's boxing. It's not everybody's cup of tea. I fully get that. But at the same time, like, look what he did for Amanda Serrano. Like, Amanda Serrano, I've been following her career for a long time. I've actually gone to a couple of her fights in person, so I could speak to this.
Right.
She normally fights on the very early parts of undercards, and there's like nobody there when she's fighting. So for her she's the co-main event because Jake Paul went to Showtime and told him, hey, I want her as the co-main event.
I'm gonna tell you straight, but I'm gonna tell you straight up like this. How many fights has Jake Paul has since he actually got serious? How many?
This is his 4th fight in the professional ranks.
Okay, so let's talk real here. He's got an average, or let's say, I might be wrong, over let's say 100,000 viewers. Okay, an average. You name me a fight in the last 5 fights that they had can have more viewership than Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Answer me that question.
Yeah, and I think if anything,
and I'm not trying to dick ride Jake Paul. What I'm saying is, sometimes having an extra trinket to make your car run better, or make your team be better, or bring more attention to your team is better than having no fumes at all.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I'll call a spade a spade. Like, you guys know I love boxing, but I can be real about boxing and the state of boxing and where it's at right now. Boxing in America on a mainstream scale. So I'm not talking about this little bubble known as the YouTube boxing community, and I'm not talking about boxing fans. But on a mainstream scale, if we're just being honest, particularly in this country, in America, I can't speak for the UK or any other country, but this country, boxing's been irrelevant on a mainstream scale for a long, long time.
And let me say just one thing. America is a land of fucking opportunity. And motherfucking Jake Paul is showing what a true American is all about. Nobody expected. At first I was telling my son, oh, this is a fucking soap opera.
Fuck Jake Paul.
He heard. Fuck Jake Paul. Fuck all that shit. But in reality, he took that and ran with it, and it's actually brought attention to the sport of boxing in its worst time that we've had.
Yeah, one of the worst times we had. You know, the thing is too is like, I'm kind of parroting what I said in other videos. And by the way, shout out to everybody here. Make sure y'all smash that like button. I'll get the comments in the section. But like I'm kind of parroting what I said in my Jake Paul video. But I'm gonna say it again. It's like a lot of people talk about how, you know, like Jake Paul is doing the things that we kind of wish other fighters would do. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of people in boxing I know would like to see other fighters other fighters like stick up for fighter pay and do things that are beneficial for the fighters, but they're not doing that because I know that for most fighters, and I can speak to this from knowing fighters and being in gyms and talking to fighters. So this is just me talking out of my ass. I know that fighters have a very they're very focused on themselves, what they got going on in their careers, and whatever's going on with them is whatever's going on with them, and whatever's going on with other people is what's going on with other people. But here we have Jake Paul, someone that's using his platform, he could be doing a million other things because look, he got money, he's got a fuck ton of money, and he's got a big platform. He could be doing 10,000 other things with his time, but for whatever reason, he started to box. And something about boxing got a hold of him. The same way I fell in love with boxing, the same way he fell in love with boxing, the same way many people fell in love with boxing. Something got a hold of Jake Paul, and he decided that this is what he wants to do, and he wants to push the sport forward. And you know, I'm on board.
And I'm with you on that, BT, because if Jake Paul can bring all these celebrities or whoever he wants to fight and bring them in there, and it's a much better talent than going to fucking Mexico, going to whatever state, third world country, and fight these garbage bag boxers just to hike up your fucking
record. Pad the record.
It doesn't mean shit. But you gotta respect Jake Paul because Jake Paul is getting in there with people that he knows is gonna call attention to the sport. He knows that people, whether it's his followers or the sport of boxing, are gonna check it out. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think he's been a blessing for the sport of boxing.
Facts.
And I'm not trying to dick suck on him like you guys might think it. I'm not saying that. But the motherfuckers that are crying, the motherfucking boxers that are whining, that they're not promoting themselves, they ain't doing shit. When you got a motherfucker that got, how many followers you got?
20 million.
20 million followers, and you have how many as a boxer? I'm just happy I'm speaking 30,000 or whatever. Who do you want on your side?
Listen, I know from just talking to fighters. Listen, I know from just talking to people, and seeing fighters on Instagram. Sometimes like fighters can get a whole Instagram post made about them, or have the fight post made about them, and they won't even repost their own shit. They won't even promote themselves. But then they want to cry about Jake Paul, who actually puts in the legwork to promote himself. So I see a lot of fighters. They don't understand the whole picture. Now I see we got a lot of interesting comments. Shout out to everyone here. If you got a comment, drop it down below. We'll be here for about an hour or two.
Yeah, I'm just going like I was saying again. I think that having an advantage of having a person like that to come here and put the platform of boxing where it's at right now, because you never in the last fucking 6 months. Don't fucking tell me Duck Canelo. Don't tell me shit about he does once fucking week. Don't tell me all that bullshit. Who's carrying boxing more than anybody else right now, or who's actually brought the attention?
Nobody's even fighting. Like nobody's even fighting right now.
And boxers can be insensitive to that. They don't have to agree with it. And I respect your opinion. I'm not hating.
The better question to ask is name me a fighter who's done 1.3 million pay-per-view buys this year.
Wow.
Name me one.
I can't.
No one. The only person that was Jake Paul. Now I'm gonna take that and I'll pivot to John Doe's comments because John Doe's flapping his gums. He's got Canelo Alvarez cinnamon pubic hairs going right down his throat. He says this guy said that Plant would challenge Canelo. No. I think you misheard me. I didn't say Caleb Plant would challenge Canelo. I said he's gonna beat Canelo.
I'm with you on that.
All right, I said he's gonna beat Canelo. November the 6th, Caleb Plant will defeat Canelo Alvarez. So don't miss my words. Don't twist them up. You know, you might be in awe of Canelo. You might want to have his children. You might want to do those things, but I'm just a boxing fan.
And let's get it straight. People like you, excuse my language, you're fucking insensitive fucking bitches. Okay? That's what you're a fucking woman insensitive to get your feelings hurt, and you can't deal with the truth.
Listen.
And we have everybody's right to their opinion. I respect your opinion, but don't come here fucking hating. You're fucking.
He followed up with a comment. He says he disrespects Canelo, but bigs up Jake Paul. This guy.
Jake Paul's done more for boxing than who else? You tell me who else has done in the last 6 months, or how many? Tell me. I'm looking at it.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. So what if somebody says, how could you say Jake Paul's done more for Canelo when Canelo put 75,000 people in the football stadium?
Okay, and I'm gonna say it again. How many followers that Jake Paul has? And how many viewership he's gotten from every fight since he started boxing and calling out everybody?
It's been a lot more than pretty much everybody. He's been smashing everybody.
Yeah, fuck that Canelo. Fuck his meat. Fuck all this bullshit. I'm telling you the way it is. Don't come here with fucking Canelo bullshit, okay? We're talking about the reality right now. The reality is even Canelo didn't want to fight on fucking Mexican Independence Day.
He never wants to fight a Mexican.
So
he said he don't want to fight a Mexican.
So how can you sit there and say, "Oh, Canelo, fuck Canelo," all right? And I'll tell you, you can go to his last 5 fights, add up all his viewership, and add up Jake Paul, and I guarantee you, the outcome will be Jake Paul winning the viewership.
W. Ryle, shout out to you, champ. He says, "Come on, BT, it's a circus. The casuals only care about Paul. Tell it how it is." I am telling you how it is. I'm telling you exactly how it is. Listen, I'm gonna tell you the exact moment, the exact moments where I had to change heart about Jake Paul. Now, look, you guys know I'm in the South Florida area. On my wall, I literally wrote down every gym that we have here in South Florida. We got roughly about 25 to 26 boxing gyms. 25 to 26 boxing gyms from Dade County, Broward County, to Palm Beach County. A lot of gyms, and I go to a lot of these gyms, and I happen to meet a lot of younger kids, a lot of fighters. So. I remember back like last year, like late last year, I started going to these gyms to do interviews and stuff. And I didn't just meet 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, or 4 kids. I'm talking about I'm meeting like 10, 20, 30 young kids that picked up boxing gloves because of Jake Paul. So when I see comments like this that say it's only for casuals, it's only for this, it's not only for casuals. And that's just you being negative. And I listen, I can't blame you. Because I was worse than you at one point.
And let me ask you a question. Do you think promoters give a fuck about casual, not casual?
They just want that dollar.
They want that dollar. Do you think they would have a Jake Paul or yell, what's his name? No disrespect to him, yell Alvin on a fighting card in Canelo? Get the fuck out of here. I guarantee you, business is business, money is money, viewership counts for the, I think it's called, what's the thing for the TV where they count the
ratings
and everything, so it's important. And what Jake Paul has done, and I'm not saying here, we go back to the fight of Woodley and all that, but right now we're just talking about what Jake Paul has done, and we have to give credit where we see it.
I want to get this comment, and I have a question for you, Pop. Shout out to everybody here. Yeah. Ricky Torres, shout out to you. He says, cool, true school, and Pops are in the house. Jake Paul is putting some big light on the sport of boxing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Pops, what I want to ask you, when it comes to the boxing business, what are some things you think Jake Paul has done to exploit the boxing business? Like, why do you think he's? We know he has a big platform, right? But what are some things that you think he's done in comparison to other promoters that have made his shows?
What he's done is when they go to the press conferences or whenever he calls out a fighter, he makes it interesting. He makes it lively. He makes it where. Take Mayweather. Mayweather's a big name. We all respect Mayweather and everything.
When he grabbed his hat.
We got a fucking hat. This and that. Woodley fight. He called his fucking mama out. I don't think he means it as a bad way. But if it calls attention and it's a plot to get everybody to view him more, whatever, so be it. But I mean, you gotta respect Jake Paul because you even told me, BT, that at first we thought Jake Paul was just a fluke. But when you seen him dedicate himself to boxing. And his work ethic.
And mind you, what you guys must consider too, like I told you, I live in the South Florida area, and do you know where Jake Paul does some of it? He's training. He's done his last 2 camps in Puerto Rico, but when he's not in Puerto Rico, do you know where he spent a lot of his time training? South Florida. Yeah. So you guys don't think I don't know people that are in the gym with them? You don't think I got eyes and ears? I got eyes and ears everywhere. I could sit in this room right now. And look, this is me being like. I try not to be arrogant. I try to keep my ego in check. But I'm telling you guys how it is. I could sit in this room right now, and I don't got to go nowhere. And I know plenty about what's going on in the gyms and stuff.
Let me tell you, when you have a low-level fighter that don't have no exposure, and you get with Jake Paul, their profile increases. Not just.
And how is that not good for boxing? Like today I made a post on Instagram today. Right. And this young fighter from South Florida, who I'm a very big fan of, who I think has a lot of potential, this kid named Marcel Ballautier, man, they call him. He got upset about what I said about Jake Paul helping boxing, but I don't think he sees the bigger picture. A lot of people think he's disrespecting the sport and all this stuff. In reality, look, he's not the one disrespecting the sport. You know who's disrespecting the sport? Your favorite fighters. I'm not gonna say no names, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Your favorite fighters who duck big fights. Promoters who play this A side, B side political bullshit. The sanctioning bodies that have a million trinkets, that cause confusion for the casual fans that are trying to get into boxing. These things are bad for the sport. Jake Paul, all Jake Paul has done, as he has taken advantage and exploited a system that was already in place. So as you've always told me when I was a kid, don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's right. And you can't hate him. I mean, when you have insensitive casuals, insensitive professional boxers that are crying about because we're calling out things the way they are. You have to look at the reality. He's bringing the attention to the sport, which is going to benefit you in the long run. You know why? Because he's bringing more people to the platform.
Yeah.
And that's Showtime. That's Triller. All the people. I guarantee you, if I brought a fucking Joe Schmo from fucking Iceland, and I brought motherfucking Jake Paul, who's a fucking crazy YouTuber, but does crazy shit, but he just crazy antics, and it works, who do you think do I want? Who do you think is going to sell?
The one that makes you money.
That's it, man.
That's what it is.
He did it with the greatest, with the most undefeated fighter.
That was Logan. That was
his brother's Logan. But I'm saying they did it, and they did what they had to do. They exploded it, and they did it, and he's still doing it now. He's got a long list of people he wants to fight. So respect to him, but don't cry because you're fucking Canelo. Fucking, he's the greatest Mexican. He sells seeds.
But it's not just Canelo. It's anybody. This goes to Spence. This goes to Gervonta Davis, Crawford. Anybody who's not trying to fight the best and give the fans the fights that they're interested in.
The money's worth.
Then like look, he has simplified promoting shows. A lot of times, and you know this, Pops, we go live for the entire card.
Right.
Entire card. We watch the Showtime, Top Rank, Frank Warren, British Boxing. You name it, we've gone live for it.
Motherfuckers who watch.
We've gone live for it, okay?
Yeah.
How many times, Pops, do we watch a card and it's a bunch of mismatched fights to pad guys' records, and we're sitting here just counting them down the minutes to the main event.
Yeah.
And sometimes the main event isn't that good.
Yeah,
but Jake Paul, look at this undercard. I mean, let's not even forget Jake Paul for a second. Let's just look at some of the fighters that are on this undercard.
Right.
Okay. You've got Montana Love in a step-up fight against Ivan Baranchyk. You know, there's a lot of questions about Montana Love, how good he is, and he's fighting a guy who had a world title at one point, who fought Josh Taylor, who was just involved in the fight of the year last year.
Right.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight on any card, okay? So you got that fight. You got Amanda Serrano, one of the best fighters in the world, male or female. Puerto Rican boxing. You got Daniel Dubois, one of the top heavyweight prospects in the world. You got Tommy Fury as well. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Tommy Fury, but that's a potential fight with Jake Paul. He's putting him on the card as well, giving him a chance. Yeah. So you look at those four fights. Those four fights. Those are when you put those fighters together on undercard, it's hard to not say that this isn't one of the better undercards we've seen this year.
And a few weeks ago, I seen Brandon vetting some of the fucking lives he did because the cards weren't good as the main event. He can't say this about this card.
It's true. You know? Yeah. Sometimes, like when I go live for these fights, I'm like, "Yo, Pops."
Yeah, I can see it. It's fake.
This is gonna be fucking brutal.
When he's out and out there back north, and he's by himself, I just feel it. But he still does it. But what I'm getting at is, you cannot discredit what Jake Paul has brought to the sport of boxing. Now you can say, "Oh, he's not a real boxer, not this and that," blah, 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 whatever you want to say.
You know what? You know what gets me. You know what gets me, and I want to see what you guys think about this because people in boxing. And I'm sorry, I have to call out people boxing. So like my professional trainers, my amateur coaches, managers, promoters. These are the main people that comment on my posts on Instagram and YouTube, and they always have something bad to say about Jake Paul, right? About how he's bad for the sport and how he's not a real fighter. He needs to do this, he needs to do that, right? I really think people in boxing have fragile egos, and I think that they don't want to admit that the boxing business and the boxing game, it does need a bit of a shakeup. And I feel like, you know, the way we say here in True School Sports, you know, something the boxing games are missing. He's kind of in a way something the boxing games have been missing. Now, what is the difference? You riddle me this, Pops. What is the difference? And you guys tell me in the comments as well. What is the difference? What's the difference between Jake Paul fighting MMA fighters and basketball players in his first 4 professional fights? What's the difference between that and your favorite prospects going to Mexico or Colombia or the Dominican Republic to go fight these guys that fight these garbage can cafeteria workers that they find off the streets
just to pad their record?
There's no difference to what Jake Paul is doing to what they're doing, but the only difference is this. The difference is that he's gonna get compensated well for what he's doing. He's gonna fight on big platforms. And he's gonna make a lot of money doing it. So that's where I think there's a lot of envy and jealousy because a lot of fighters can't do what he's doing.
You can't hate what Jake Paul's doing because back what BT was saying, and I retract to that, he's promoting himself and he's doing a great job doing it. And you gotta blame yourself, boxers. You gotta blame yourself for your manager.
It's not the boxer. I can't say I can't put it squarely on the boxers. It's the whole business structure.
What I'm saying,
the managers, the networks.
You're a fucking promoter. He needs to promote you. We just got back about and I'll call this up the way it is. You got fucking Bivol, right?
Oh, call him. Talk to him.
You got fucking Bivol.
Don't have a heart attack. Tell how you feel.
No, I'm not. I got my shit right here. You got fucking Bivol. You got motherfucking my mind I lost it. But we got Bivol and some other fighters that are Boo Andre that fucking some promoters. Fuck it. Eddie Hearn should be promoting better than he does to get them fights, get the big fights, right?
Yeah.
He's not doing that. But then you got Jake Paul, who's a name all over the world. He's been followed by so many people. My point is, he's well known. He's got the viewership. You got to take that in because the promoters are not doing their fucking job to promote their fucking fights the way they should.
Yeah. So I feel like if you're hating on Jake Paul, you're being very disingenuous because I know a lot of the same people that say, oh, Jake Paul's bad for boxing are the same ones that bitch, whine, and moan when Al Heyman don't make the fights, when Bobby Hearn don't make the fights, when Eddie Hearn make the fights, when their favorite fights don't happen. So which one is it? Is Jake Paul bad for boxing, or is Bobby Hearn, Al Heyman, and the promoter bad for boxing? Who is it?
And I want to say about BT say it's different for Jake Paul if he would just come and showmanship from the first fight that he had and did that, but he's dedicated himself to boxing. He's actually doing the training like a real boxers do. You got to respect that. He's changed his whole lifestyle. He's done everything. Who cares if he calls garbage bags, actors, garbage bags, this and that? But he's done the work.
And I don't understand how people like. Do y'all remember Butterbean?
Oh,
like,
yes,
there's always been gimmicks like this in boxing.
Yeah.
Like there's always been gimmicks like Butterbean, Kimbo Slice when he decided to become a boxer. Like these things have always existed. So I don't like how. I don't understand how people are acting like this. This is a new thing. Like it's not new. Nothing is new under the sun. Like the good book says. Shout out to my man Christian Caranz. I don't want to butcher your name. My boy Christian. He says Canelo is too slow to cut the distance on Plant's jab, and I agree. And you know what? November 6th is gonna be a momentous live fight reaction. You guys are not gonna want to go to no other channel. Just come to this one.
Right here.
Whether you love
us
or hate us, come to this one for November 6th. Yeah. It's gonna be a real good one. My man says, where is it? I like comments like this. W. Rowell says, it spits in the face of real fighters who came from nothing. Silver spoon trolls making a circus out of boxing. Well, Conor Ben had a silver spoon in his mouth, and you know what? You guys don't hate on Conor Ben. Conor Ben didn't come from the trenches.
Listen, man.
How does it spit in the face of real fighters when these real fighters like Regis Prograis, who he fought on a Jake Paul undercard, he fought Ivan Redkach, right? A fight that at most, if he's lucky, he's making $200K. Lucky.
What do you make?
He made $850,000. You know what Redkach made at the B side?
Yeah.
$250,000.
Yeah, hello.
So how is he spitting in the face of fighters when he's getting them paid?
But at this comment,
and they're fighting in front of crazy ratings.
What you're saying is, okay, the boxers that are actually boxers are put in their time and done everything else, and he's just a YouTuber star and he just popped up here. No, he hasn't. You're missing the whole fucking point. I'm gonna tell you in English. I'll tell you in fucking Spanish.
Say it in Spanish.
Mira, Jake Paul, para que tú lo sepas, él se cambió su manera de ser. Él tampoco fue un actor o tampoco fue a hacer una cosa que no ha hecho. Él fue y empezó a entrenar como un boxeo verdadero. Entonces, tú tienes que respetar que ese cambió su tema de vivir y su tema de entrenar para ser uno de los mejores. Jake Paul changed his lifestyle and actually started training like a real boxer. He didn't just come in like an actor and YouTuber and just show it like that. So for you to say that, you're fucking wrong. You're basically saying that he's disrespecting all the boxers that done the training and everything. No, he's not, because he's taking the same road.
He's training with them. He's training with them.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
SP, shout out to my man SP. He says, will he ever fight a true boxer is the question. Maybe he will. Hopefully one day he will. I think he will at some point. But look, it's his fourth professional fight.
You guys, hold on, backtrack that. Do you see his list? Who he got on his list? Who he wants to fight? Do you guys check out who his list he got? He got Tank Davis. He got some other boxers that he wants to fight.
Look. Let's just say theoretically, right? Let's say in his next two fights, if he fought like Tommy Fury, right? Because Tommy Fury is a prospect. Tommy Fury is a true boxer, which but it really, if you look at his resume, if you watched him fight, you know that his last name might be Fury, but he sure as hell ain't Tyson or Huey. Now, if he fights Tommy Fury in his 5th or 6th fight, that right there is better than like most guys' 5th or 6th fight. That's just keeping it a buck. Like I love a lot of fighters, but like they weren't fighting nobody the 5th, 6th fight.
And I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with the guy with the comment. What I'm saying is like even with the exhibition, I don't get into all that stuff, but at the end of the day, you gotta give this guy respect. He's in the gym training and doing what boxers do. So how can you sit there he's disrespecting other fighters? He's not. Yeah, he's calling all these other fighters and stuff. But look at his list. He just came out a month ago. I think I seen the list that he had
on Instagram.
The
board, the board.
Yeah, the board.
It had like Canelo and
all kinds of fights.
Tank Davis and all these guys.
I mean, tell Canelo he's ducking everybody else. So let's see if he's gonna quack about this and see if he can fuck him up. I guarantee you he won't.
I don't know about that. That's going too far.
No,
I know, like that's going too far.
What I'm saying is, get in the ring and at least try to fight this YouTuber and see what it's all about.
Well, apparently Canelo invited him to spar.
I'm just saying the way I see it.
Shout out to my guy NYC Brooklyn. He says Jake is fighting fighters in big stages, well-known names, not no names, big props. Exactly. Tyron Woodley. Look, I know Tyron Woodley's not a boxer per se, but like I told Tyron Woodley in your 4th professional fight, when you have you guys gotta remember, he has no amateur career, none, 0 amateur career, no amateur career. He didn't come from like I guess you could say a rough background per se. And he's fighting a guy that not in boxing, but in his combat sport was, he's known as a striker, and guy was a champion. Not a bum, a guy that knows how to kick ass, that's kicked ass for a living for a number of years. Yeah, so to fight a guy like that in your 4th fight, when you don't have much experience yourself, it's a good fight.
It's gonna be a good fight because even when we seen, I'm not trying to change the subject, but even when we seen the press conference when Jake Paul, I think his annex work for everything. He knows how to get underneath the skin of the fighters. And that brings a whole new level of
I saw an interview.
He saw his mama and really like, I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. You better get him away.
I saw an interview where I guess what's his name? Tommy Fury said that Jake Paul saw him backstage and didn't say anything, right? And then Jake Paul's response was, well, I don't know what he wants me to say, I hired him to be here.
So what I'm saying,
like you said it very nonchalantly.
Even the you gotta do annex to self boxing, and that's a lot of times it's not what you think it is. Like what he did with Woodley, he called his mama out, and Woodley got all this shit down. But Woodley got checked by one of the MMA what's that knuckle fighters, Hector
Lombard
almost beat the fuck out of him.
Oh yeah.
But whatever I'm not saying Lombard was right, but what I'm getting at, he checked him on that.
Hector crazy. That's not something you want to get mad at.
Yeah,
Hector is crazy.
So what I'm getting at is having all this stuff. It just like. I'm not going to say it like this. I shouldn't say this disrespectful, but WWF is big excitement because he knows how to get underneath the skin of the who he's fighting. And he's not hating. It's just he's promoting himself. Think about it.
Hey, Sam, what's good? Shambi says, do you really believe that Virgil Ortiz had COVID really bad before the Hooker bout? Now, that's interesting. I was at that fight, and I sat like, there's a video on my channel. You can see it. I saw him walk right by me. Yeah. When he had his entrance, and he looked just fine to me. But again, when you're gonna fight, you have all that adrenaline. You can forget about a lot of ways you're feeling.
Right.
So it's not for me to say I don't know. We don't know if any of these motherfuckers have COVID. To be honest, if we're being 1,000%, we don't know who the hell has COVID and who doesn't. We just assume all of it is a conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, and what the ones that suffer is us.
Yeah, so you can't hate Jake.
But yeah, so I mean, this coming weekend, we're gonna find that it's gonna be settled on the ring, and I guarantee you, Woodley's gonna.
Do you have a prediction? I don't know how many rounds it is, but
I don't know who's gonna win this fight. I'm just gonna enjoy it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna enjoy it, but I guarantee you that just like Mayweather on the skin, and he got on the Woodley's skin about his mother. I don't think he meant to be disrespectful, but if it sells, he's gonna do whatever it takes.
People gonna tune in. Jake Paul. I'm gassed about it. Like I like Jake Paul. I can't believe I'm saying this because a year ago I made a video saying
we talked about
he's gonna fucking get injured, and I hope I was, forgive me God, but like I was wishing bad things on the guy a year ago,
and he was telling me like, and I was the same.
And then after a while I just started hearing things about him from people I know here in South Florida and in Vegas and different places where I have different eyes and stuff, and
different perspectives.
And I just heard another great things, and then when he called out, see. The moment he really got me was when because Canelo said something like, "Oh, he's disrespecting our sport," and he's like, "Disrespecting our sport? You put drugs in your system to box. The fuck do you mean disrespecting the sport?"
Yeah, eating meat. Well,
that, and he also called him out for ducking Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade, and everybody. So that got me on his side for life, pretty much. So yeah, Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley, we'll be live for it Sunday. You guys make sure you tune in. It's gonna be a momentous.
It's gonna be a good fight because I think Woodley's gonna come in there. He's already angry for the remarks that he made about his mama and this and that. So it's gonna be an exciting fight. People are gonna watch it, and I'm really interested about the boss. Yeah, the ball rebound from that fight. I'm really curious of what he's gonna do after.
You gonna see your boy Montana Love?
I fucking hate Montana. I can't stand Montana with his stupid shit.
Why? He's funny though.
No, I mean,
I like Montana.
I can't deal with all that dancing and all that shit in the
ring. He owns a nail salon.
Yeah, we about to get
two pretty nail salon.
Yeah,
shout out.
Does he call it?
That's the name of his nail salon.
Are you serious?
He owns a nail salon.
No, man.
Straight up, he owns a nail salon.
I hope he gets the fuck beat out of him. I'm sorry.
Baron Chick?
Yeah, Baron Chick needs to rebound anyways. What a better way to put the fucking Montana Love out and let him go to the fucking nail spot with his pink dress.
I
don't like it.
I actually have no clue what to expect from that fight.
I was antics in the gym, dancing and doing all this fucking.
I like it. I like it.
I love what boxers after they train.
You can't say that. You contradict yourself. You can't say, "Oh, these boxers gotta sell themselves," and then this guy selling himself, and then.
I just don't like it, man. I'm not a big fan
of him. You think he's corny?
I just think he's fucking corny and fucking cornball. I ain't cornball.
Just say that. Just say you think he's corny.
Yeah, he's corny. I'll leave it just like that.
Okay.
My blood pressure goes up.
Well, look, we're gonna pivot to another subject. Yeah. If y'all got anything y'all want to talk about, drop it in the comments down below. Make sure y'all take the time to subscribe, super chat, all that good stuff, man. It's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports with Pops.
We just love talking
late
boxing,
night, unfiltered boxing talk with Pops. Now, Pops, there was an incident that took place recently in Texas.
Okay.
Had your boy Jermall Charlo. You know, he went out to wine and dine and eat with his friends, and you know, he wanted to be a big baller, a big shot caller, you know, and he basically ran the bill all the way up, and he gave the waitress his credit card,
three times,
and that shit declined 3 times. You know? So hey, who would have thought? Who would have thought? I'm gonna better for that situation than Charlo.
Listen, I've been saying all year.
This man wanted to go pay for a hamburger. He can't pay for a hamburger.
Yeah, Jermall has been a very big disappointment to me. I was a big fan of him. I'm still a fan of him, but I just don't like him like I used to because of the way he fights and all this other shit. But for him to go to a fucking restaurant and bring a credit card and it got declined 3 times. And then you should have taken a big motherfucking fight, and you won't have to worry about the fucking bills.
You would have.
Matter of fact, Kabu won. He'll pay you.
It's funny you say that because Demetrius Andrade came out on Twitter and he said that he's like he should call Eddie here and try to get that $7 million to fight.
That's it. You don't have to worry about.
And then he says that he told Charlo he got a debit card and he got some cash to help him out, to help a brother out. And then he tagged Denny's. He tagged Denny's in the tweet.
Yeah.
So Demetrius Andrade is definitely having a lot of fun. But
make that fight, man. Make that fight. You can earn enough.
Even if he wanted to fight him now, it might just be too late. It might be too late because I was reading the articles and apparently he might. When I say he, Charlo,
right.
Charlo could be facing anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because it was 3. He had 3 counts of something. I forgot what it was.
Right.
3 counts of something.
He got according to the lawyer, he just basically grabbed the money, grabbed whatever. You know how when you go to the waitress, they got that black book when you put your credit card and everything. He went in and just grabbed his ID and everything.
Yeah, but then he threatened the whole staff and he said he's gonna fuck everybody up and. It's a whole big thing. Like I'm just going off the articles. I was reading that he can get anywhere from 2 to 10 years of prison time. For what happened. I doubt he will.
He'll get off all that.
I doubt he will, but that's what the article said.
Yeah, I just think that sometime you get a humble pie and karma comes back to you, and it just came back to Charlo.
And look, let this be a learning.
I don't hate the Charlos.
Let this be a learning lesson to all you fighters, including this ain't just with Charlo. You know, Cinnamon Man too. You know?
Yeah.
Okay. All you fighters that have been ducking Demetrius Andrade and blackballing him for reasons that have fuck all to do with boxing. Okay. You reap as you sow in life. You will reap as you sow. So if you don't get embarrassed by fighting him, you'll get embarrassed by doing some other things.
So. That's a big embarrassment because I become a bigger fan for his younger brother.
Jamel.
And and you see Jermall usually talk a lot of shit, but he can't say nothing about this because
he can buy a hamburger.
Yeah, but I'm saying his brother fucked up. So I mean, what? I mean, he just totally fucked up. Jermall just fucked up. His whole year this shit been fucked up anyway. So for him to go somewhere and grab the waitress, whatever he did, and got in cash, whatever he did, you can't just do that.
Can't. Gotta be smart.
You know, I mean, if you that broke, call your brother. He would help you out. And I'm not saying it in a bad way.
I'm not saying it in a bad way. But I will say this. Look, he fight Montiel. He don't want to take these big fights. I was in Houston. I sat ringside. I was there to support the real main event on the card, Angelo Leo. Okay.
Right.
And as I was there, you know, I was in Houston. They had the whole. He's in his hometown. It's, you know, Juneteenth, all this nonsense.
Yeah.
The whole entire upper deck was sectioned off. There were empty seats. He didn't sell. Listen, he didn't sell many tickets. And I know for a fact there's no way on God's green earth that PBC made a profit that night. So I'm just saying, man. We're seeing a trend with these PBC fighters. And we've seen it with like Broner's getting an allowance now from Al Heyman. Supposedly, he's asking.
Are you serious?
You haven't seen that?
No, I didn't see that yet.
Yeah, like Broner's been asking Al Heyman for money on Instagram, and Charlo listening to Charlo. So I don't know, man. Crazy things are happening in the wide world of PBC.
I wish him the best. Make it be a learning experience. And I'm not saying I'm just angry because you can sit here and just like Boop wanted to say, if you have made that fight with me, you won't have to worry about fucking
It's a fact
about that. But you want to sit there and point fingers. But you don't. You want to fight somebody that you barely look any good in your last fight. Fucking look lame as a fucking duck. I didn't say this. I'm talking about Jermall. I'm not talking about Jermall. And for his brother to stay silent, Jermall usually talk a lot of shit, but he can't.
Jermall's quiet as a church mouse right now.
And God bless him.
Shout out to my guy Edgar Alas. He says Boots versus Virgil. Who do you got, Pops?
Oh man, that'd be a great fight.
Everybody keeps asking us that question. And I hate that question because I don't know. I don't know.
In my heart, I'll be honest with you, I got motherfucking Virgil. I got Virgil. Everybody talking about Boots being Ennis being the most talented skill. When he gets in there with a live dog like motherfucking Virgil and the pressure he puts in, I got Ortiz.
You feel like once Virgil touches with them grown man punches, his whole game plan gonna change?
I'm telling you, I'm not saying that Boots not a great fighter. It's skilled. Everybody's telling the same thing. But I got Virgil. Virgil's hungry. He's a hungry fucking Mexican lion. He's coming through. He puts the pressure on. And I'm going to tell you, Ennis will have his hands full. I mean, who's fought the best fighter out of the two?
Definitely Virgil.
Okay, so there you go. Virgil's not afraid. He's calling everybody. He's calling Spence, calling Crawford, calling the president, calling who the fuck I'm gonna call.
Hey, I'll be honest.
I got Virgil. I got Virgil.
I go back.
I don't know what beats he got, but I got.
I go back and forth all the time. So you're asking.
Do you? Are you serious?
Like they're depending on when you ask me, I'll have a different answer for you.
No,
because to me, it's that good of a fight. It's that close to a fight.
It's a great fight.
But
I gotta give that upper hand to Virgil.
You know them skills pay the bills.
He just fought.
You know them
Pacheco, right?
You know them skills pay the bills. We going with Boots.
No, I'm going motherfucking Virgil. Virgil's a hungry motherfucking lion. He's not afraid to fight anybody. And if you discredit him, he's gonna show you up.
I like Virgil. Yeah, I met Virgil.
Yeah, I'm taking motherfucking Virgil. I think Virgil. I'll put the money. I want to go bet on Virgil. I don't care how broke I am. I'll bet whatever the fuck I got in.
You're losing money.
I give a fuck. I'm taking Virgil because what do you think if they actually fought? I mean, your opinion, BT. What do you see weaknesses on Virgil's part that he can't with help from
what are his weaknesses?
I'm talking against if he was to fight Boots Ennis.
The same weaknesses he had when he fought Kavaluskis. He's susceptible to get counterpunched. He, you know, if you actually have the wherewithal. Hold on. If you have the wherewithal to hold your ground and throw combinations, Virgil's there to be hit. He's
that's fine. But how many times you knock fucking this guy out?
Kavaluskis ain't freaking ground Ennis.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Virgil is a young. How old is Ennis? 22, right? 20, whatever he is.
He's young, like mad young, but he's got like 27 fights.
Okay, that's fine. But has he had a better resume than Virgil? Answer me that question.
No.
There you go.
That don't mean anything though.
There you go, baby.
So if you want to go
no.
If you want to go that logic, then that means Canelo's gonna be Demetrius Andrade.
No.
Well, no, he's got a better resume.
No, I'm not saying it. What I'm saying to you is these are two young bucks. Everybody says Ennis got the he's a very skillful fighter, and I like Ennis too. I'm telling you, he got it. But I just think he cannot handle the hungry lion and Virgil. I just can't. I can't see that.
Boots is hungry too.
So you're telling me
you didn't just hear? You didn't just hear his dad? His dad did an interview with shout out to YSM Sports Media. Yeah. He did an interview talking about 15 fighters turning on a fight with him. You don't think he's hungry? He can't get fights. You know who he's fighting next?
Who?
Fucking Delorme.
Okay,
that's the best he can do because these guys don't want to fight.
I'm gonna quote a quote from one time Thurman. Okay, show me the contract and I just sign it. And just bring that contract to Virgil, and I guarantee you, he's not gonna turn back from that. He's not gonna turn back from that challenge. I'll leave it at that.
I don't know, man.
I got Virgil.
I don't think Golden Boy. Personally, I don't think Golden Boy will put Virgil in there with Boots right now.
Virgil wants all the smoke.
Virgil wants.
You don't hear
not Virgil. It's not Virgil. It's people behind Virgil.
I know what you're saying, but you don't.
Because from what I heard, I heard something the other day actually that before Virgil fought, who was it? Brad Solomon. Okay. Before Virgil fought Brad Solomon, the fight that was supposed to happen was with Ray Robinson, the southpaw from Philadelphia.
Right.
And it didn't happen. He wanted to fight Brad Solomon.
Jesus.
Now that was down to Golden Boy. They didn't want that style from right there.
But I want to ask. I want to go back and retract the question to you. If motherfucking Ennis team brought that contract to Virgil, you think he's gonna turn it down?
He's not gonna turn it down.
Hell no.
It's his team.
Oh, I understand.
It's not him. Virgil's a fighter.
I understand that, but what I'm telling you is, if Virgil Ortiz and motherfucking Ennis fought,
Jermall Ennis is gonna beat him.
Nope.
Easy money.
Hell fucking
easy money.
No way.
Easy money.
He has not fought the best competition, better competition than motherfucking
Sergey Lipinets is in a bum.
Huh? No, he's not. But you can't discredit what Virgil's doing.
I'm not discrediting.
You gonna tell me Lipinets is better than the Carusos?
I'm not comparing the record. Personally, look, I don't give I'm getting so sick of comparing people's resumes. I don't give a fuck about these.
Okay, so
I just want to see the fights.
Okay, so
because Virgil can beat the whole welterweight division. It don't mean shit when he fights Boots because the whole welterweight division can't switch. Okay. They can't fight as good from they're not as explosive as him, they're not as athletic as him.
You can do whatever you want. I'm gonna tell you right now, that pressure that fucking Virgil brings, I got Virgil. This is my heart's telling me. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. That's who I got, and I respect whatever decision you got, BT.
I think it'll be a Virgil, Jermall Ennis masterclass performance.
You think so?
Late round stoppage.
On Virgil?
He's gonna stop Virgil.
No,
because Virgil gonna come right at him.
Hell no.
Gonna fall right into his lap.
No, you're not talking about fucking some low. This is Virgil.
I know who he is. You're gonna see how good Jermall Ennis is.
No, I'm not disrespecting.
And I'm gonna say it like this. You know I like Terrence Crawford, right? Crawford and Spence, they better fight each other, and they better fight each other soon, because if not, they're both running the risk of getting their asses exposed by Jermall Ennis. Because he's
wait a minute, what about Virgil?
What about Virgil?
You're not giving no credit to Virgil. Virgil will fight both of them too.
Okay.
Virgil will fight anybody.
But
Ennis come on and say that?
The reason I'm saying this is because his father in an interview said that he didn't say who, but he said somebody in one of the governing bodies promised him a title shot within like a year.
Okay.
Now, if you just go look at the rankings,
right,
and you just go look at where Ennis is ranked, he's ranked in 3 of the 4 sanctioning bodies. He's not ranked in the WBA. He's ranked in WBC, IBF, WBO.
And where's Virgil at?
Virgil's ranked number 1 in the WBO.
That's fine with me. I'll take him. I'll take that live dog. I will take fucking Virgil 100 times. So that's my answer to that. Me and him will go all day. We're still gonna go back.
We'll go. Yeah, we'll
because
go.
I'll be honest, and I've seen a lot of Virgil, but I'm not seeing a lot of Ennis. But people say his skills out of this world.
You haven't?
I've seen. You haven't? I've seen a few, but I've not seen enough for him to impress me to do what Virgil does. I can't. My heart's telling me that.
What fights have you watched?
I'm just telling you, PT.
Every time Jermall Ennis, look. Every time
I gotta walk away for a few minutes because
Pops will be back soon. Yeah. Every time Jermall Ennis fights, he looks spectacular. He looks like $1 million. I don't know what Pops isn't seeing. He might need to get thicker glasses like me. John Tovar, what's good, champ? Good to see you, John. Hope you're doing good. Hope everything's going good. You're still working out. Kevin Effect was good, man. I saw your comment earlier. Yeah, me and Pops are twins. He said he got Ennis. Absolutely, man. Boots Ennis, he's got every skill under the sun. He's got all the tools in the toolbox. I don't understand how people can't see what I'm seeing. You know, I was watching. I watched a video the other day on another channel who will remain nameless, and they were saying that Jermall Ennis isn't that good, and he doesn't have that many skills, and that he's a weight bully, and he should be fighting at 168 and all this bullshit. I'm like, damn, man. Has the YouTube boxing community become that toxic now to where we can't even acknowledge the skill set of a young up and coming fighter. Like, I'm not saying you gotta proclaim all these young fighters that are talented to be the next world champions or the next big thing, but can we get to a place in the YouTube boxing community where we're not nitpicking and hating on everything a fighter does all the time, unless they're in a position of power to fight certain people and they just constantly avoid them and duck them like certain other fighters. I'm just saying, man. That's why, like, for me, I disconnected myself a lot from a lot of people here on YouTube, even people I like, just because I just noticed too much toxicity. That's even a word. Toxicity, toxicness, toxic ways in the YouTube boxing community. At the end of the day, like, I'm just a boxing fan. I want to see these fights happen. I want to get to a point very soon where we can actually see Jermall Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz. Like, I want to go to Jermall Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz, and do like vlogs at the fights and stuff like that, and interview people outside the stadium and do that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I want to do. All this stuff about purse splits and A side, B side, we're not with all that. We just want to see these fights happen. So yeah, it's your boy BT, the untouchable, true school sports empire.
Yeah.
Kevin Effect says, I love the subliminals. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, man. If you know who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. A lot, and that's what it is, man. Mm-hmm. I was just telling everybody, like, it's fun to talk about these fights, but I want to get to the point where, like, these fights happen and I can plan my trip to go to these fights. So we can go and do the live vlogs, the fights.
Oh my God!
Interview people. Like, I imagine, like, you got. I mean, for those of you who really follow me, and I assume if you're one of the 10 people here watching me, you really follow the channel. Anyways. Okay. I wanna bring Pops with me to Vegas, and I want Pops to interview fans. Like, could you imagine if I can only imagine what
I'm a people's person, so
I could only imagine what it would have been like if I would have brought you to Texas when Canelo was fighting, and you would have interviewed the Canelo fans.
Listen, man, I guarantee you, Ray Reynoso would have heard me just like Eddie Hearns.
Yeah,
for the crowd, because I'm a people's person. I get along with everybody. I can talk to the wall, and the wall will talk back to me.
That's a fact.
But I mean, what I'm getting at is, I enjoy it, and not even that. The most important thing to me is spending time with my son, and you guys also. Don't get it wrong, and that's what I love. I love, like, right now we're talking about. I took it off air. We can talk for hours about the Virgil Ortiz and Jermall Ennis, but you know what? I respect my son's point, and it's talking. We're just talking. But I think all you 9 you are here. It might not be a lot, but I love that you guys are here.
Man, see, I don't like these questions because I don't like answer these questions because if they go wrong, they're gonna say, see what you did. Jesus M says, BT, Ben versus Granados. Is it a good bet to bet on Granados? He's a plus 15. He's a plus 1,500.
Is that good or bad?
That's a very good bet.
I don't know what that is.
So basically,
I'm not a gambler,
so for odds, so when you see it, whoever is the minus, that's who the favorite is. Okay.
Or is it the minus?
Whoever is the minus. So if you see, like, for example, like in this fight, minus 300 Conor Benn. I mean, Conor Benn is the favorite. Plus 1,500 basically means that, like, if you were to bet $100 on Adrian Granados and he were to win, you would get that back.
Oh wow.
So I would say yes. I would say it's a good bet. Only because, like, those are ridiculous odds. Like, and Granados is not a bum. Ben's never been in there with anybody as experienced as him. So if he puts it all together and has like a Mir Imam type of performance and takes Ben to some deep, dark, uncomfortable places, then I mean, that's gonna be a crazy cash out.
I just think.
But if he loses, because you gotta remember, Conor Benn is the golden boy of the guy they're grooming up. What Kell Brook used to be to Eddie Hearn, that's what Conor Benn is now. He's like, they're grooming him to be the next British pay-per-view star. So if the fight is close and Granados gets robbed, don't come over here and get mad at me, because I'm telling you what's going to happen.
No, I think, and I have to agree with you, BT, the resume that Granados has, to me, is a lot better. He's fought a lot more experienced fighters, and he's battled through them, even though he hasn't gotten hit. The decision has not gone his ways. It's going to help him when he fights Conor Benn. Conor Benn is just coming up now. Now he's going to be more exposed. He's coming up now, and by the UK. He's a big thing. He's a name. It's just like Granados said, and I have to respect what Granados said. He said, I respect the Ben name because of his father, but I can't respect Conor Benn until, you know what I mean? Because he's
got name respect by beating me.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to go. I think at some point you can roll the dice and continue losing. It's like when you go to a blackjack box, right? And blackjack in the casino, you keep losing, you fucking lose 1,000, 100,000, whatever. And then that one day, you get fuck it, the table finally turns for you and you win that one, this is the time Canelo's going to do it.
Okay, I hope so, man, because he's a friend.
I think Canelo's coming. I see more experience. And what I know about him, and just between you and me and whatever, and you know him personally more than I do, I see him more focused. I see him more mature as a fighter. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's going to play a lot. And his maturity, his experience is going to be big when he fights Ben.
I hope so, man. I really do. Jesus Sam says, "What are your plans for Saturday and Sunday?" What's today? What's today?
Today's Friday. Tomorrow's
so
Saturday.
tomorrow I'll probably
we're gonna watch Everton.
Oh, tomorrow I'm gonna watch Everton.
Everton
in the morning when Pops. Yeah. We watch Everton. I'll probably watch some old fights. I'm definitely gonna go for a run. I'm gonna get myself in some great shape. Sunday is the Jake Paul fight. So I'll be live Sunday, and then that's really it.
And then the following week, at some point, we don't know when, because right now I got a situation with my van and whatever. Once we get everything right, we're gonna start going to the gym to get interviews.
Gotta get them interviews and that world class content.
Right now, Hrgovic is fighting.
Philip Hrgovic. Apparently, Philip Hrgovic. He announced that he's fighting some Croatian guy I'd never heard of. He'll be fighting September the 10th in Croatia against some no-name opponent, just to stay busy, because we know that Michael Hunter tucked his tail between his legs and went to Triller and didn't want to fight him for the mandatory spot.
Right.
And he's what they call, I want to abolish this term because it's becoming the most pussified term to use whenever people don't want to make fights. He's high risk, low reward. Now, I don't understand how that whole theory, because if a guy is undefeated, right?
Right.
If a guy is undefeated and he's a good fighter and you beat him, how the hell is that a low reward?
Can't be. Can't be. Just to the subject a little bit, brother. What do you think about the WBA just getting rid of all these crazy belts? You think it's a good thing for boxing or not?
I think it's a great thing for boxing. I think it'd be great if because now that they got rid of these belts, there's gonna be a bunch of there's still gonna be a log jam of fights to be made. So I feel like the guys that had the belts, they should be thrown into fights with guys who either have the real belts or the interim belts or whatever, so that you can clear the log jam at the top of these weight classes.
Do you think the WBC is gonna do the same thing?
Huh?
You think the WBC?
No, are you crazy? You see that gut on Suleiman? No. You see that big ass gut Suleiman?
No, what I'm saying,
I'm not gonna do that.
But I mean, I have to respect what the WBA is doing, because now you can go back to the old school boxing where you can just say, okay, the top of the gun is top of the gun, and that's it. No, now if you wear pink dresses and pink panties, you're gonna have this pink belt and whatever.
So does that mean Gervonta Davis isn't a 3-division champion? Because he was winning all the regular belts.
Yeah. All that bullshit, all those interim, silver belt, gold belt, don't mean shit. So I like that idea.
Kevin Effect says, but wasn't Hunter getting paid way more for the fight on Triller? He was. But he was gonna get paid the lion's share of the purse when he fought Hrgovic. But look, Michael Hunter. The reason why I'm so hard on Michael Hunter is because before any of the Hrgovic stuff happened, there were a lot of interviews. You can go look them up, where he was bitching, moaning, and complaining about how Eddie Hearn, DAZN, how he believes that Philip Hrgovic was getting preferential treatment, right? He was saying that he was getting all this treatment. He was getting fights that Hunter couldn't get, right? But then Hrgovic's never fought as co-main event on an Anthony Joshua undercard, So I just saw a lot of complaining and whining and him hating on Hrgovic. And then when it came time to fight Hrgovic, he didn't want that smoke.
When you see a fighter...
But yeah, to answer your question, he got paid more. Good for him. Hopefully he can push his career in the right direction, because Michael Hunter is a good fighter.
When you see a fighter, and let's be real, Hunter only fought his fucking sparring partner, please.
Who?
On that fight. That was
Mike Wilson?
That was an sparring partner. Get the fuck out of here. That was garbage bag. I'm no disrespect to Mike Wilson.
They fought the amateurs.
Right, but I'm just saying. But what I'm getting at is when you hear boxers crying like that and pointing bullshit out, it's because they don't have no confidence.
But then he also said...
he has no confidence in facing somebody like Hrgovic.
Simultaneously, he also said that he's the face of American heavyweight boxing.
Get the fuck out of here. If you can't get your own balls and wrap them up in a Red Bull and fight motherfucking Hrgovic from another country and show what America's all about, and then you want to run. And I get it. The money was at Triller. I mean, Teofimo did it, and other fighters did to go on Triller, whatever the case may be. But is your legacy better with fighting a fucking guy? No disrespect to Wilson or what his name is, the sparring partner, or fighting somebody like Hrgovic? Who would you better have?
I mean, look, if you would have fought Hrgovic and beat him, he would have been in a mandatory position to fight for a title,
and
or at least higher in the sanctioning body.
Right, but he did. He went the other way, and I'm not. I just think that he eventually, and I'll be truthful with you, BT. At some point, they're gonna have to meet one way or another. They're gonna meet again,
or one of them's gonna lose.
And what I'm saying is, and if Hergovic meets, that Croatian fucking gonna fuck him up.
I can tell you.
We went to an interview with him, and I felt bad for him because
he looked pissed.
Like
you can tell he wants to hurt somebody.
Yeah, we went to the interview, we talked to him, and I felt bad because you gotta understand that not just for Hergovic's situation. We see that in a lot of fights. When the boxer puts in all this time and just been promoting and all this other shit, and then a boxer because he's a diva or he's afraid or he has enough confidence, and that's what I see in Hunter. I don't see enough. I thought he had enough confidence like his father. After I read about his father, how he fought and everything, but I didn't see the same confidence that he had that with Hergovic. And then he want to blame it on the. I watched an IFNL interview, and I forgot who the promoter was. My friend that was saying that a lot of it was Hunter just crying and gaining weight from the fight.
Soderlund?
Yeah,
Soderlund.
Soderlund. So what I'm getting at is, for that being said, if you got confidence in yourself, and that's any fight. If you got confidence in yourself, it doesn't matter who you face in the ring. You're gonna fuck him up and do what you got to do. But he didn't do that. He ran away. He went for the money, but his resume's not better.
That's it, man. So look, best wishes to Michael Hunter. I'll still be watching his career and seeing how it develops, and maybe they'll meet later on down the line for more money. But it's just not a good look when you talked trash, when you talked so bad about Hergovic in multiple interviews, and then you get the chance to fight him and you tuck your tail between your legs and you go fight on a Triller.
BT, a hypothetical question off of cloud nine, because I just came up with this, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
It's a retarded question, but I'm going to ask you anyways.
Go ahead.
Big Baby Miller, do you think he represents the American heavyweight champion?
Do I think he represents?
Oh, do you think he's going to come back and do that?
Do I think he's going to come back and be like a factor?
Yeah.
No.
He's done?
I haven't seen any reason to think Jermall Miller's going to come back. Funny enough, I checked his Instagram yesterday because he does follow me.
Right.
And I haven't seen any training videos or anything that will lead me to believe that he's getting ready to box again.
Okay. Do you think Anderson, the young heavyweight, is going to be the next American heavyweight to represent?
Jared Anderson?
Yeah.
Yes. Hell of a fighter.
Even with promotion company and everything behind him.
Top rank?
It's not top rank.
It is top rank.
It's also his manager, friends, and all these other people. You think he's going to be big?
I think Jared Anderson is going to be more than fine.
Yeah. You think he could be the next one?
Yeah, he is the last American heavyweight hope. We call him.
Oh, well, yeah. So
unless Cherry Bryan pans out.
I don't know what's happening with that either.
We never know what's happening with that. When do we know what's happening? I love Tyron Bryan, but let's just call it a spade. I love him and I want him to do well, but when do we know? So yeah, got a good week planned here on True School Sports. Sunday night will be the live fight reaction for Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley.
I think it's gonna be the card is like you said. This card is very good, like you said. I want to see how Dubois responds after he got what's his eye, whatever the fuck.
By Joe Joyce?
Yeah. So I want to see how he's going to come out. Is he fighting a legitimate opponent?
I don't even have any checked.
Yeah, so
I just know he's on the card.
And you got Serrano from Puerto Rico. We already know about her history, how good she is. She's going to be tested by the Mexican fighter. So we got all kinds of shit going on. We just want to know what's going to happen. I just think welterweight. Who do you think is number one welterweight right now?
The number one welterweight right now? Yeah. Nobody.
I know right now.
Nobody.
I know one.
Nobody.
But I know right now you feel real good about Keith Thurman, the way he's talking, the way he's doing it.
It's good to see him back and see him confident again.
I mean, I like when he checked long nose Ellaby on that shit. That shit had me rolling.
On the Gervonta Davis thing?
I didn't know that they fight. If you move up, you fight the other person moved up, and then you fight the big fighters. You know what I'm saying? The big names in boxing. But I like to see Keith Thurman get into big fights. He deserves it. I mean, anybody signs the dotted line. Him, the welterweight, and you're big. Are you big in Colin Smith now?
Am I big on him?
What do you think about that?
No, I'm not big on him. I'm not big on him. I'm interested to see what happens, but I'm not gonna say I'm big on him.
Yeah. One thing I will agree with you, BT, is and Eddie Hearn pisses me off about this is the way he treats like Bivol, the way he treats Bubu Andre. He doesn't get the big fight for him. Like you were telling me about the fight he's fighting. And I like the fighter that he fought, but I don't think.
Well, Eddie Hearn's trying to get John Ryder to move up from 168 to 175. Right. He's not even a big 168.
No, he's a small guy.
At 168, he's a small guy.
Right.
And he just got ordered by the WBA to fight David Morrell, but Eddie Hearn don't want to make that fight because it's a hard fight for Ryder. But if he go to 75, that's a damn near unwinnable fight for him.
If it's ordered, you have to fight that fight, don't you? If we stay in the division, in the weight class?
I don't know, man.
I just think Eddie Hearns, me personally...
I think he's using Bivol as a pawn.
Yeah,
Bivol. To try to keep Canelo at the zone.
Yeah, Bivol has hurt him. He hurt Bivol's career. And he's definitely hurt Boo Andre's career. And I like Eddie Hearns because he gets a lot of boxers active. And he's one of the active most promoters that's for the fighters. But for some reason, Boo Andre and Bivol, he's not doing what I think he should be doing. You know what I mean? And I think the fans suffer for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But look, I think on that note, I'm not gonna make this one too long tonight, guys, because it's already late here. Mm-hmm. But I want to just say what's up, talk some boxing. Sunday night there will be a live fight reaction for Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. So please don't make any plans. Join us for a live. It's gonna be a fun time as it always is here on True School Sports. Any final thoughts possible in the live?
Yeah, man. God bless everybody that's here. I don't care if it's only 1, 11, 12, whatever. Thank you for being here. We're just talking boxing. We all have our own opinions on it. We respect everybody's opinion. And thank you for being here. And please keep following True Sports. Put the name out there. If you want to buy merchandise, subscribe to True Sports if you haven't. If you got friends or whatever, put it out here. God bless to you all.
All right. And on that note, we'll get out of here. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you guys can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding, Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.